Campfire stories from the Dying Embers universe. Dragons, aliens, and things that go BOOMP in the night. Don't teach Grandma to pick huckleberries, a deep, eerie voice rumbled out, and the dark body of the deer slipped out of the bright beams. Besides, you don't know that there isn't someone watching from the forest. The smallest child tried to lift his head at that, but the largest child shoved him back down with a terrified hiss. A deep, rumbling truckle drifted to them through the trees. With a sudden, wet, ripping sound, one of the legs detached from the body, and the headlights dipped as the hood of the massive truck lifted. The ripping sounds were joined by the sounds of teeth on bones and slurping. Suddenly, there was a snap, and the sound of something large falling through the branches off to the side, before landing on the forest floor with a distant thump. "Sure you don't want any?" the strange voice asked. The voice swept over the children and froze them in place, unable even to cry out. "Lots of it is aged real good and slimy, but there's still enough unripe bits you could probably stomach. Even a child, even 2 or 3 human children might like this. I know what human children like." The sound of rapid breathing got louder as the children listened. "Nah, bro, you have your fill," the blessedly normal man's voice said in a distracted tone from a different position now, and accompanied by the sound of boots on gravel as if he were walking around the truck. "I still got that moose from Cousin Gabe's last hunt, and lower 48 elk is always a letdown after that." "Suit yourself," the deeper voice replied. The sound of another engine approached, and the slurping and grinding noises paused a moment, then resumed as the man-shape stepped back into the light. A white SUV with what looked like writing on the side and lights on top pulled in to park in the beams of the headlights, and another man-shape stepped out. This one was not nearly as tall as the first, but wore a wide, flat hat on its head. "So you found it all right," the newcomer called cheerfully. "Yup," the first man-shape agreed. "Thanks for this, cuz," the new man-shape said, his voice turning suddenly tired. "Dispatch has been giving dozens of nuisance calls about the smell, with this right near the campground. And we are criminally understaffed this season." "Happy to help," the first man-shape said. "Sal is wanting a real fresh meal anyway, and I can always use an excuse to get out and stretch my legs." There was an especially loud, long, slurping gurgle from the massive yellow lights, as if in agreement. "Well, it will make the area smell nicer on hot days," the new man-shape said, a hint of unease in his voice. "How are you going to deal with the smell?" Sal can fix that easily enough," the first man-shape said with a gesture that might have been a dismissive wave. "He can digest pretty much anything made of meat." "Don't like eating alone, though," the rumbling voice interjected, causing the second man-shape to flinch back. "Shame to have all this and no one to share it with. You want any?" "No, thank you. Salcha, right?" the second man-shape said with an uneasy laugh. "Park regs say it's not ethical for me to harvest roadkill for myself." "Better to waste it?" the rumbling voice demanded. The second man-shape gave another uneasy laugh, and the talk died down, leaving only the sound of gnawing and slurping. "Well, someone other than me should get something out of this," the rumbling voice finally declared. "They should consider it a gift, if they know what's good for them." "I really can't," the second man-shape was saying, when something particularly large and heavy fell through the trees and landed close to where the children lay, eliciting a high-pitched squeak from one of them. Both man-shapes turned sharply towards the sound, and the largest child's fingers dug into the shoulders of the other 2 through their thick coats. "What was that?" the second man-shape demanded. "Lots of flying squirrels in these trees," the rumbling voice announced, a strange air of cheerfulness mixing oddly with the terror the voice carried. "They like bones way more than I do. They'll grab the ones they want and run right home with them." "Weird-sounding squirrel," the second man-shape said, unease in his tone. "Well, what do you know?" demanded the rumbling voice, sounding slightly offended now. "You probably couldn't tell a flying squirrel from a pack of human children." End of part 2. Be on the lookout for the next part.
Bard has led his pool of outcast warriors across the stars to this strange blue planet with its cold, nearly dead surface. For years, they clung to each other in the magma caverns, only going to the surface to humor the curiosity of their hosts, until the day a young alien wandered into Bard's song and resonated with him, and gave his pool a hope of something more. Now, a dark threat from Bard's homeworld threatens the fragile connection he has formed with this alien family, and the stars sing of war.
To get your copy of Hidden Fires, available only on Indiegogo.